Okay, so today I'm going to use Gemini AI to address one of the questions that a friend of mine have asked. So you know who you are. And essentially the question is around SRS, and basically the specific question was around at what income level does it start to make sense for a Singaporean to start to contribute to his SRS account. So as you can see in front of me, I have Gemini AI, the advanced version. I've basically subscribed to this version of Gemini, which costs $30 a month. So let me go ahead and type in my prompt. Okay, so I want to start and say at what income level does it start to make sense for a Singaporean to contribute to his SRS account for tax savings. Give me a table of different income tiers and assume and compare the tax savings that one would get by contributing the maximum of 15,300 per annum versus not doing so. Also share with me the penalties of early withdrawal of the SRS funds. Okay, let's wait for Gemini AI to do the work. Okay, so I think the table is not really working correctly. So let me type in a prompt. The table is not showing correctly. Please regenerate a readable table for me. See what it does here. Okay, seems like the table is working out correctly right now. So as you can see, at 40k and contributing 15,300 per annum, you will start to save $456, and your tax payable drops to just under $100 for the fiscal year. So I think to me, I think if you ask me for my personal opinion, I think it starts to really make sense as you cross this 80k mark, because that's the point whereby your income is a little bit higher, and you can actually save up on cash in your bank account as a rainy day fund, and on top of that you can start to make contributions and save up to about $1,000 a year, and thereby you essentially have a return of, let's say, about 8%. If you calculate the $1,000 divided by 15,000 per annum, I think you essentially get a immediate return of about 8%. So I think at 80k mark above, it starts to make sense, and then obviously as you move down the ladder of income growth, your tax savings starts to increase, but disproportionately so, because as you can see, at higher income levels, you don't really get that much of a tax shield as a percentage of your income. So I think yeah, there's a limit. The limit is 15,300. So hopefully one day the government might increase that limit a bit more, so that more of the population can enjoy the deferred tax savings. So I think it's not showing me the penalties. Show me the penalties of early withdrawal. So you can see here, the reason why I pointed out that perhaps at a lower income it may not make sense to contribute to SRS, because everybody needs a rainy day fund. Not everything in life is about saving taxes, so at lower income levels perhaps it might make more sense for you to save up on cash buffer in your bank, and once you cross the 80k mark you can start to contribute to your SRS, and it will yield you a decent amount of tax savings, while at the same time also allowing you that flexibility to save up on a cash buffer. So I think the penalty predominantly is a 5% amount if you withdraw early. So if you withdraw 10k from your SRS account, you will suffer a $500 penalty. Essentially, you're giving back part of your tax savings. So just to do a little bit of quick and dirty math here, I think if you at the 80k mark, if you contribute 15k, you get a tax savings of 1,000. But if you do an early withdrawal, you actually suffer a $750 penalty. So your tax savings essentially is almost wiped out. 75% of your tax savings is wiped out, because the $750 would be essentially paid off as taxes to the IRS. So assuming this Gemini is correct, I think essentially you get that answer here. So there are some exceptions to penalty. Obviously, if you pass on medical grounds, or there is a bankruptcy, cause SRS funds may be used to settle debts. So I think essentially I think the SRS is a good vehicle for us to essentially defer some of the taxes that we pay, and on top of that, the SRS monies can be used to invest in the US market. Even you can actually invest it in the NASDAQ. So maybe let me ask the Gemini about what type of investments can I invest my SRS funds in. I think it will probably throw up some robo-advisors, because that's what I do with my SRS. No, I don't invest in the Singapore exchange. You can do bonds, you can do ETFs, you can do REITs, unit trusts. Yeah, I personally use Endow-Us. What about robo-advisors? Yeah, so essentially I think there you go. So essentially you can also invest in the US markets with your SRS fund. So on top of the deferred taxes, you can actually make the market return. Yeah, I mean, don't be greedy, right? With your SRS funds, just invest in NASDAQ or the S&P and other tech funds if you like to be a little bit more aggressive. And these robo-advisors generally do not charge very high fees. Okay, so there's a Mandarin version, but that's not too relevant. So I think that's all for this video. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.